Hello, welcome to Archicad 23 online course, beginner and intermediate level. My name is Alexandre Gonçalves. You can call me Alex. I am a Brazilian architect and urbanist, founder partner of AGA, Alexandre Gonçalves Architecture. I will be your instructor in this course, and I hope you enjoy all the content that I have prepared for you. So, I use the software since 2009, version 12, and I have a good experience with the software. I have done presential courses since 2013, and now, by online platforms, we can reach a larger audience. In this course, we'll create the project of the Orlando house. It's a house project from the beginning to the end. These images you see were rendered on Archicad with some little adjustments in Photoshop. Let's see some images of this project that we're gonna do. And our class schedule is divided in 10 sections. In section 1, we have basic concepts, work environment, and Archicad tools. In section 2, we're going to start the project using DWG references, modeling the terrain, and starting the structure. In section 3, we're going to do the house structure, stairs and ramps. In section 4, we're going to do cuts and embankment operations on terrain. We also will see walls and element attributes. In section 5, we will insert doors and windows and create 3D sections. In section 6, we'll learn about view maps, railings, and roofs. In section 7, we'll see libraries with insertion of bathroom and kitchen equipments, furniture, and vegetation. In section 8, we're gonna do sections and elevations. In section 9, we have interior elevations, details, schedules, layout book, where we create the project sheets and publish in PDF and DWG. Lastly, in section 10, 3D documents, rendering and solar study. On each section, you will have an Archicad file prepared for you to continue the project step by step. It will be always in PLN and PLA extension. I will later explain the difference between them. Besides that, we have the template used like a base to start the project. It has some predefined settings like layer combinations and pen sets. We also have the DWG translator with specific configurations to export files to AutoCAD, the DWG references from Orlando House, and finally the files in PDF and DWG generated as the result of the project. So, let's start with the BIM concept. What is BIM? BIM means Building Information Modeling. A construction virtual model is the central database for 3D visualizations. Technical drawings of floor plans, sections, elevations, details, and others. Basically, all 2D drawings are automatically generated and updated from 3D model. It is a complete integrated project. If you change a door at the floor plan, for example, it will be automatically changed on sections and facades, as well as in 3D visualization. With BIM, the building becomes an entity, no longer the lines of before. Wall is no longer a block, it is a wall with parameters. It is a constructive element whose materials have physical properties, like thermal conductivity and density. There is a question about the implementary disciplines, as electrical and hydraulic projects, that in many cases are received in DWG, but working with BIM, The better situation is to have these projects in BIM as well, which is named as MAP, Mechanical, Electrical, Plumbing. So you can receive a file of IFC extension to insert the complementary projects, or you have the option of using a plugin of MAP inside the Archicad. The structural project normally is calculated on 3D softwares, so it's easier to import the structure IFC file. The integrate process in 3D is very important to detect the collisions among them. Well, for the offices that want to make the transition to BIM, there are three main challenges. The software purchase, because it is high cost, new equipment for BIM programs require high-performance computers, and team training, which also requires time and money. Beyond Archicad, the other BIM softwares available are Revit, Vectorworks, and Bentley Architecture from the MicroStation platform. Archicad is the oldest BIM software on the market, and, in my opinion, is the best so far. Produced in Hungary by Graphisoft, Archicad is intuitive to learn with a 3D interface that contributes to the creation process and freedom of forms. There are some applications that previously were sold separately, but now are embedded in Archicad. One of them is the Eco Designer, an application of energy efficiency analysis that can be used to improve the performance of sustainable buildings. Another application is the BIMX, a very interesting app which is an explorer of 3D model, and you can use it in several devices, as smartphones, tablets, or even in your desktop computer. You also can see the technical drawings and very cool transitions between 3D and 2D representation. And so there is MAP, Mechanical, Electrical, and Plumbing. And as I was speaking before, it is used for the modeling of pipes, ducts, cables, and pumps. It is a plugin for Archicad, and you can install it during the Archicad installation process. Teamwork is another very important tool, because it allows the team work together in a single model by internet. And it can happen in an office network and even between people in different cities or countries. When the project is shared as teamwork, it passes to be hosted in a server, which is the Graphisoft BIM server to be installed in a computer in the office. Let's see now some main Archicad evolutions in the latest years. In Archicad 16 were made the morph and shell tools and the incorporation of Eco Designer. In the version 17, we had the incorporation of BIMX and connections enhancements. In Archicad 18, the engine rendering by Maxon was a great evolution to make more realistic images. Beyond the BIM Cloud, a tool of design review working together with the cloud storage concept. In the version 19, Archicad became faster than ever, with improvements in processing speed. In 2016, Archicad 20 brought one of the most important evolutions, allowing the algorithmic design with Rhino and Grasshopper connections. Archicad 21 brought very good enhancements in Stair Tool and the creation of a specific railing tool separated from Stair Tool. In Archicad 22, the curtain wall tool has been renewed to make it better and fun to use. And now, in the Archicad 23, we have the direct link to Twinmotion, which is a software of 3D real-time rendering, used to produce animation videos, virtual reality, and panoramas. But not only this, we have other news in Archicad 23. Now, the bin and column tool allow us to do variable sections, and bins can be curved in z-axis, curved in the vertical plane. We also have new tool to do empties, holes, and recesses. It can be used to explore different forms of openings in walls, slabs, and so on. And as we've said before, we have a direct link to Twinmotion. It is amazing software that is in Epic Games production and can be downloaded for free. Beyond the Rhino and Grasshopper connection, Archicad makes connection with Solibri and D-Rofus. Archicad 23 has considerable performance enhancements, increasing the answer times, including a faster opening of big files in BIMX. And last but not least, the productivity enhancements, including an even better curtain wall tool. The BIM technology leads us for the parametric design, allowing us to produce complex forms. So let's talk about IT concepts applied to architecture. The appropriation of softwares originally used in the automobile and aeronautical industries allows a new focus on architectural design. The use of complex geometries, scripts, and parametric programs provides a new scope of guidelines, not only for design, but also for manufacturing. However, the inclusion of these new technologies in civil construction are being relatively slow compared to other sectors. The construction industry is very conservative, resistant to innovations, and prefers not to take risks, in addition to using a workforce of the least qualified. In a BIM software, you can save the so-called file to factory. Digital information files are sent directly to 3D printers and CNC millers. CNC means computer numeric control. These are CNC machines of different types such as cutters, water cutting, laser, plasma, in which we can work with different materials. We'll see 3 case studies. The first one is 7 Days, 7 Stools. The German designer Thorsten Frank produced a stool per day by 3D printing. In each stool printing, the plastic was melted and injected by the extruder into a digital mold, programmed into the printer. Case 2 is the C-Space. The temporary pavilion of 70 square meters was designed for the 10-year celebration of the Design and Research Lab of Architecture Association. To get to C-Space forms, Demps and Huang used parametric modeling tools, the Rhino 4 software. A CNC miller was used to cut the concrete panels according to the design foreseen in the digital model. They have created diagrams similar to shelf assembly diagrams like do-it-yourself. It was simply fitted at the site. Case 3 is the Mercedes-Benz Museum by UN Studio in Stuttgart, Germany. Based on the geometric figure of the clover, the museum presents a complex spatial concept whose geometry has been transformed into a parametric drawing. So look at the sections. It would be impossible without a BIM project based on 3D model. One of the technical challenges was to find the exact size of the 6,500 pieces of glass and its best position on the angular facade. The complex curves of reinforced concrete were executed with wood forms produced in CNC milling. As information goes direct from the computer to the milling, there is no need for modularity and standardization. The digital technology has achieved the union design production. It is a question of breaking the stigma of standardization determined since the times of the Industrial Revolution, and the modern movement was the glorification of mass production, as in Henry Ford's 40T models, where it was possible to buy a car of the color you wanted, since it was black. With the digital revolution, 1,000 different pieces may have the same cost as 1,000 identical pieces. It is the end of mass production paradigm. To finish this presentation, we'll see how the BIM technology influences the architecture of the most famous architects in the world. Architects who have their names lifted in recent decades, like Frank Gehry, Hans Koolhaas, Norman Foster, Zaha Hadid, Bjarke Ingels, and others, rules their projects by digital platforms, which enables them to produce complex forms and spectacular buildings. This is only possible with BIM technology and parametric design. The Bilbao Guggenheim Museum, designed by Frank Gehry, was built in 1997 and was a mark of the digital revolution in architecture. We also see these complex forms at the Walt Disney Concert Hall. St. Mary X by Norman Foster. Kansai Airport by Renzo Piano. The amazing BMW Museum by Cooper Himmelblau. Calatrava's buildings also looked spectacular in his forms. Barajas Airport by Richard Rogers. This fantastic hotel at Yas Marina Bay is above a Formula One track, and the curved roof with thousands of glass panels explore the complexity as well. The Italian Massimiliano Fuchses have made this fluid stair, and it wouldn't be possible to design without BIM. So imagine designing this elevation on AutoCAD 2D. On Milan Trade Fair, we see the possibilities created by parametric design. And finally, the Via 57 West, designed by Big, is a fantastic skyscraper in New York. And here, the BIM technology and algorithmic design allows the form's complexity. Okay, this presentation is to introduce Archicad. Hope you've got very excited about the course. So wait for you on next class. Bye bye!